we're looking at age discrimination on U.S. juries. It's often said that older people are overrepresented on juries in the U.S. So they looked at a case in California and recorded the number of jurors of various age groups, and we're trying to find out if they should extend their scope to more counties if they actually observe some discrimination. So in the various age groups, what we have in the table is how many of those people actually reside in the county for each age group, and then when we looked at jurors, how many jurors fell in each age group. And we want to know if the number of jurors is matching up with the county percentages so that they're evenly throughout there. So our proportions of jurors that we'd expect should match the county percentages. So we should have about 42% of jurors between 21 and 40. We should have 23% in the next group, and then 16% and 19%. So our juror percentages should match that if they're matching the county. And again, then our alternative is at least one proportion in the null is incorrect. Okay, so we need our expected counts, and we'll fill those in down here. So we need to take our percentages times our total number of people, which is 132. So our first expected count will be 0.42 times 132. That gives you 55.44. These are not whole numbers. That is okay. Your e's do not have to be whole numbers. 0.23 times 132 gives us 30.36. Our next one of 0.16 times 132 will give us 21.12. And then finally, our last E of 0.19 times 132 gives us 25.08. Okay, those will add back up to 132. Notice that all E's are greater than or equal to 5, so we're okay for a large enough sample size. So our test statistic here will be the actual count of 10 minus the expected count of 55.44. Notice already that those feel like they're quite a bit different. Our observed count in the next group is 18 jurors. We expected about 30. Next one, we had 38 jurors. We expected 21-ish. And then finally here we had 66 jurors, and we expected 25.08. So we can already see when looking at these counts that they do feel to be quite a bit different. What we get for this test statistic is actually very large, 122.53. Degrees of freedom here will be 3 because we have, again, 4 categories, and degrees of freedom is k-1, so we will have a 3. If you go to StatKey and click on chi-square and put in a degrees of freedom of 3, and think about the graph here, notice that like by 12, we're really far out in the tail, so you can imagine if I put in a number as big as 122.53, that is way off the graph, okay? So we get a p-value of 0. So definitely here very strong evidence to reject the null and to say that the proportion of jurors by age does not match the countywide percentage that we have. And so we are seeing here evidence of age discrimination. What is happening is exactly what was suggested. We are expecting 55 younger jurors. We only have 10. We're expecting like only 25 of these older jurors. We have 66. And the same trend happens in these middle two. So we're having more older jurors than expected and less younger jurors than expected. So there is an issue with age discrimination here.